Let's go straight to the phone lines because my good friend and correspondent from Toronto, Canada, Michael Shoesmith, he is an author, he is a blogger, a syndicated blogger, and he's the executive director of the P.P. Simmons News and Ministry Network, also one of my co-hosts right here on this program and has been for many years. Michael, it's so good to have you with us today.
Well, as you know, Carl, I'm not sure where to go with this first topic here because I think I need to start off by saying that I hope I have made it clear over the years that I love my American friends. Has that been clear enough, do you think?
Yeah, I think you've made that very clear. In fact, most of our folks didn't even know you weren't American until you finally told them some years ago.
Well, it's a very heart-wrenching topic, this whole Afghanistan business, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. Tell us about it. I mean, I remember Barack Obama saying that Afghanistan wasn't going to be his Vietnam. I mean, but here it is.
That's right. Dateline Washington, September 15, 2009, U.S. President Barack Obama rejected comparisons between the deepening U.S. involvement in Afghanistan and the Vietnam War. Yeah. In an interview with the New York Times published Tuesday of that year, some commentators had suggested, Carl, that Obama could suffer the same fate as 1960s Democratic President Lyndon Johnson.
Imagine that.
Who saw his reformist administration eventually consumed by an entanglement in a war half a world away. But Obama, who was aiming to enact a hugely ambitious domestic agenda, boy, if we only knew then what we know now.
Right.
Domestic agenda, while dealing with multiple crises abroad, rejected the comparison. He says, you have to learn lessons from history, Obama said. On the other hand, each historical moment is different, Obama said in a joint interview with New York Times and CNBC. He says, he closes with this, you never step into the same river twice, and so Afghanistan is not Vietnam. Well, listen, it looks to me today like the only difference between Afghanistan and Vietnam is one is in a desert, the other is in a jungle.
Right, and one's called Afghanistan and the other one's called Vietnam. But other than that, they're almost identical.
Right, well, check this out. This is how Wikipedia describes how the Vietnam War ended. Barack Obama said, this is how wars end. This is what he said about his retreat from Afghanistan, right? This is how wars end. The way he's ending it.
Right.
The way he's ending it is they're gradually drawing down forces, and they're going to train the Afghanis how to defend themselves. This is what they're doing, right? And a symbol of that is the bird doll, really, the
debacle.
Swap.
Yeah, the debacle.
Right.
The bird doll debacle. Yeah.
The debacle, the prisoner swap debacle, we'll call it, right?
Yeah.
The prisoner swap, according to Obama and his cabinet and his press secretary, prisoner swap, this is what happens when wars end, Carl.
Yeah.
Are you not aware of this? So they're ending the war, and this is how they're doing it, gradual withdrawal of U.S. forces. Well, listen to this paragraph from Wikipedia wherein they describe how the U.S. withdrew from Vietnam. Disillusionment with the war by the U.S. led to the gradual withdrawal of U.S. ground forces as part of a policy known as Vietnamization, which aimed to end American involvement in the war while transferring the task of fighting the communists to the South Vietnamese themselves. Despite the Paris Peace Accord, which was signed by all parties in 1973, the fighting continued. Well, who did they do the prisoner swap with? The Taliban.
Right.
They gave the Taliban recognition as a state because they didn't do prisoner swaps with groups. They did prisoner swaps with state nations.
Right.
Right?
Right. Exactly.
By the way, today is the 70th anniversary of D-Day.
Yes, it is.
Listen, that is how wars end. Because the war in Korea, it never ended. And the communists won against the South Vietnamese. But when the Americans and the Allied forces went into Normandy and stormed the beaches, 11 months later, what happened? The Nazis, they surrendered.
Right.
That's what happened. Wars are won when the big guys win, break a bunch of stuff, and kill the enemy until they surrender. That's how wars are won. And then you can have peace. But what we're seeing now is an end to this war. This war is very similar to the way America withdrew from Vietnam. Now listen, this whole thing with Afghanistan, this is Obama's Vietnam. We can't say, the Bushes started it.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but we have no idea how the Bushes would have ended it. We have no idea. We can't say it's Bush's Vietnam because Obama came in, took it over, and this is how Obama's ending it. He's ending it the same way the Vietnam War ended, folks.
Right.
This is Barack Obama's Vietnam. What happened here?
Well,
what happened here in 2001? We had the Taliban, which was the leading government at the time in Afghanistan, harboring these people who took responsibility. Now we can say, hey, look, the Saudis did it. They funded it. They made it happen. But listen, folks, listen. We have the Al Qaeda. They took responsibility for it. They raised their hand when the teacher said, "Who did this?" They raised their hand and said, "We did it. Come and get us." Right. That's what happened. So the NATO forces, even I don't know how many people are aware of this, but Canada is a member of NATO, and we lost hundreds of people fighting the Taliban in Afghanistan. Canada did. And now Obama is retreating from Afghanistan. He's retreating. America is admitting defeat in Afghanistan because the Taliban is saying, "Hey, look, we're still here, and we're going to take over as soon as you guys leave. We're going to come and take over again."
Right.
And they are relishing in the fact that the Obama administration has given them legitimacy as a state.
Oh yeah.
By doing business with them as a state, by doing a prisoner swap with them, which is symbolic of the end of a war.
As a matter of fact, some of the leaders have come out just in the last couple of days saying that this has enticed them, this has emboldened them to take more U.S. prisoners.
Well, that's exactly right. And listen, I have to say this again. I love my American. You know what? I am so glad you guys are on our side. I really am. But this is just another war that the United States of America, under a Democrat leadership, has walked away from. They've thrown up their hands and says, "We give up. You win."
Well, please don't judge us. Yeah, please don't judge us based upon this sociopathic idiot that's in the White House who might not even be constitutionally eligible to serve. As a matter of fact, all the evidence we have thus far is that he's not constitutionally eligible. Right. So please don't judge the rest of us by this guy. We're praying that this nightmare is over soon.
I have no business nor right to judge my American brothers and sisters, but I'll tell you who is judging and who will judge the Obama and his administration.
Preach it.
Is the blood of the souls who died on September 11th.
Yeah.
That war has gone on here for 10 years by a government which has tied the hands of those fighting it.
Yeah.
You know, if America would just unleash its fighting men and women and go over there and kick some donkey. I know we're on terrestrial radio here, so I got to tame it down a little bit, but and just go over there and just do business.
Right.
I know what's going on over there. The U.S. is going over there with instructions to just take it easy,
to stand down.
You know?
Stand down. Right. You know, you said a little while ago in your diatribe, you said, if we only knew then, talking about before Obama went in office, what we know now. Well, of course. But here's the deal, Mike. Many of us did know. You and I knew. We were saying on the radio continually, folks, please don't put this guy in the White House. He is more liberal. His voting record is more liberal than Teddy Kennedy. His book, Dreams of My Father, he tells us who he is. He tells us where his loyalties lie. We know that he's infatuated with Islam. We know that he's infatuated with the Muslim Brotherhood. He told us that. We know that he hates America and American ideals and the founding formations and platforms and planks of America. He told us that. We knew he was stinking liberal. And on top of that, we knew or we suspected that he might not even be constitutionally eligible to serve. We begged America. We knew. He told us that he was going to fundamentally change America. We knew then what we now know. We knew it. But so many Americans said, well, let me just say what Joe Biden said. Finally, we have a clean black man running for office.
Wow.
Joe Biden. See, he makes a racist comment and he's promoted to vice president. Finally, we have a clean, intelligent sounding black man running for office. That's what he said.
Yeah. All these people swimming around in the shallow end of the pool. I mean, how shallow a reason to vote a man into the Oval Office of the defender of the free world, people need to get on Netflix and watch the movie The World Without Us, and us is spelled with a capital U, capital S.
Yeah.
And find out what the world looks like without the United States of America. I mean, a strong, powerful, united, clearly defined borders United States of America, which has done all it can to protect the borders, language, and culture of this great country. It grieves me to no end to envision a world without the U.S.
Very well spoken. Very well spoken, and we share that grief with you. But that's what the purpose of Freedom Friday is, and PP Simmons News and Ministry Network. Mike, we got to take a quick time.